formerly of the Norwood Football Club. Also Josh Maloney from the strong Southport Club. He comes into the Hills Eagles lineup. We've got Andrew Browning, the former Belconnen player, played in the grand final last year. He's now wearing the Hills Eagles colours. And Adam Eckerman, who was in the 2008 draft, and he's from Mount Gravatt. So a couple of big ins for the Hills Eagles. Ainslie, on the other hand, have lost quite a number of players over the off-season in the Crook brothers, so that'll hurt them. Also the leading goal kicker in one of their leading goal kickers, gone to Sandringham in Josh Bennett, but they've been able to replace him with former Port Adelaide player Nick Salter. Of course, the evergreen James Rice, formerly the Tuggeranong Football Club, and more recently as the captain coach of the Narandra. And they've also got Jordan Lucinda, and they'll be relying on a bevy of their young talent they've been quietly building in their rising stars in season 2013. Of course, their Division 1 and 2013, and their rising stars were the premiers in their respective competitions. So promises to be a fantastic match here at Allan Ray Oval here at Ainslie for round 1 2014. Strap yourself in. We're going to bring it to you live week in, week out, whether it be, I think there's 3 games this weekend, Northern Territory Thunder. There's also the games from Queensland, so in a vastly revamped competition as the umpires get set to go bounce down here. Round 1 2014 between the Ainslie Tricolours and the Sydney Hills Eagles. Just waiting for the players and the umpires to take their respective positions. It'll be Big Browning against Mulrooney. Mitch Mulrooney coming into the lineup for the Ainslie Tricolours. Of course, a bit of off-season defection by their former number 1 ruckman in Kane Morris, who's the subject of a player tug-of-war in the Ovens and Murray League. So here we go, 2014, brought to you live through neafl.com.au. It is the umpire, it's Browning to do battle with Mulrooney. From all reports, he's had a great pre-season, has big Mitch Mulrooney, but it's straight out of the middle there, and it's into the hands of Andrew McConnell, another new player. That should have been in the back there, but it's over to the ever-reliable in Fleming. He got a quick kick off the boot there, down towards the classy Nick Hine. Hine handballs away, but he was tackled there when he didn't have possession of the ball there by Kieran Emery, so quickly plays on Hine, and it goes straight into the loose man in Andrew Browning. Browning comes across in the 45, wearing the Hills Eagles colours. He comes out along towards Adam Eckerman. Eckerman at half-back flank. He gets down on the left boot, and it goes down the hands there, and a nice mark taken there by the Hills Eagles at centre wing. They bring it inboard across there. As they come in now inboard, they go further down the line and they're picking out loose players. It's Scott Reid. Reid kicks around the corner there into the arms of Josh Maloney, the former Southport product. Can he play instant dividends for the Hills Eagles with the first shot on goal in round 1 2014? Of course, a big congratulations to the captain of the Sydney Hills Eagles and Jod Flatco. He's 150th today, so congratulations to John. Of course, they've got a new coach, Coach Michael Sankey. He quoted him as the best player ever to captain the Sydney Hills Eagles and the best captain, so that's a big wrap. So it is Maloney, and Maloney's missed. He's just pushed it to the side there, so not the start the Hills Eagles were after, hoping for full points, but nonetheless they've hit the scoreboard first here at Allan Ray Oval. It is Bowles to bring it in for the Tricolours. He kicks to himself. He brings it out towards the outer side. It seems to be the favoured side out there, and that was a clever mark there taken by Nick Salter, the former Port Adelaide product. He gives a quick handball over to Lucinda, another new player in the Tricolours lineup, wearing the old number of Marcus Crook, but it's quickly mopped up there by the Hills Eagles. Gets a quick handball away, and it's taken over there by McNeice. McNeice with a quick hit, and I think it was McNeice that it was. Ben McNeice, another new product for the Sydney Hills Eagles. He draws first blood here at Allan Ray Oval for season 2014. So the Hills Eagles have got first points. So a nice bit of play there by McNeice. It looks like he's in an on-ball roll, cleverly, heavily marked there by Ash Harris. And the umpire goes back to the middle of the ground. It is Mulrooney to do battle with Browning. They look good in a couple of passages of play there, the Hills Eagles. They've got a very, very talented list. And some people said they underachieved in the past couple of years. They've certainly topped up with some nice talent this year in season 2014. Could we see them challenging at the pointy end of the season? But a quick handball away there to Fleming. Fleming got a quick kick, but it was smothered there off the boot by Jack Dimmery. He was another star for the Hills Eagles in 2013. A quick handball away there from Eckerman, and they put it into the forward line again, looking for Lucinda, and he got taken around the shoulders there, and that should have been a free kick out there to the Hills Eagles. The umpires let the play go on, and he says, I'll have it. About 25-30 metres from the Tricolours, or the Hills Eagles goals, the Tricolours defence, working overtime already. 5 minutes gone here. Round 1, 2014, brought to you through NEAFL.com.au. You can watch it all in high definition on YouTube. So, a great day for football. We've had plenty of rain here in the nation's capital throughout the week, but somehow this oval continues to look amazing. And a couple of weeks ago, the GWS played here in a trial game against an ACT under-23 side, and they said it's one of the best surfaces. So that was a pretty big wrap, and it looked fantastic. And that's Lucinda. No, it's Eckerman. Eckerman with a quick snap off the boot, but it's taken away there. That's a good mark there by Cam Bernasconi. Let's hope he stays injury-free in season 2014. That's a free kick there to, if it wasn't a mark, it's a free kick because Ash Harris nearly got his head put up into the grandstand here. He plays on quickly over there towards that of Barry. A late inclusion, wasn't in last night's team, was Chris Barry. Looked to plenty of things in his second season here. He was a good player, injured a little bit, and then there was a Salter trying to go at the back of the pack there, but he was strongly met there by Kieran Emery. A couple of big decisive hits there by Emery. He's really playing that enforcer's role across half-back for the Hills Eagles. There's a mill of players get around the ball. It's Browning, uncontested. Should have done better with that, knocking it down to one of the on-ballers, but it's taken away there through Barry in the middle of the ground. He hasn't got the ball, and the umpire says, no, I'll have it. Another ball up. Just 10 metres from the Hills Eagles bench, of course. A new man in charge for them, Michael Sankey. We'll be interviewing all the coaches with all the gossip after the conclusion of the game. But here the umpires picked a free kick out there to the former Port Adelaide player in Nick Salter, the plumber. Nick Salter jumped at the chance to play with the Tricolours. It's out towards that of Nick Payne, a strong lead. He is a good kick at goal, Nick Payne. Let's hope he stays on the park for season 2014 to replace the goal-kicking prowess of Josh Bennett, who's gone down to Sandringham, of course, gone back home. But Nick Payne, he is ever so accurate outside that 50. I think he's one of the best sit shots in the competition. As both sides ring in the changes. Eckerman coming for a well-earned rest. Off the bench, Jack Dimmery. It is Nick Payne. He's let me down. I'll put the moz on him here, and that was a real shank from Nick Payne as he puts a behind on the board for the Tricolours, and that's their first score of the day, coming at the 6-minute mark. So they're on the board at least. Let's see how the kick-out works here. He's dropped it over there. Has Dimmery, I think it is, for the Hills Eagles, and it's allowed Fleming to snap around the corner, and he made no mistake about that. Jason Fleming, he's been prominent early here for the Tricolours. He gets their first goal on the board, so they move to 7. So it's all even here at Ainslie Oval. A great kick there from Jason Fleming off half back. He's done extremely well. So error in the back half there, trying to be too cute with the footy with the Hills Eagles. Back to play here, and it's a good strong mark there to Emery. Kieran Emery being prominent, another new player for the Hills Eagles. He comes back through the middle of the ground as Browning comes for a rest, and he's changing there with big Luke Gemmell, the former ACT representative, or last year the NEAFL representative. Luke Gemmell making an immediate impact, and it comes down here towards McNeice, the goal scorer early. Play on quickly, right on centre wing here. Mucked around, a little bit of indecision there, and was taken by Aaron Vanderberg, who gets the ball inboard there. It was a good hit there towards Cam Bernasconi as it's paddled over the line there by Damien Bonney, wearing the number 8 for the Hills Eagles. So a boundary line throw in 10 metres from the Hills Eagles bench as they ring in plenty of changes. after a promising start to both sides. It's 7-all. It's shuffled out there towards Stubbs, the best and fairest winner from last year, out towards Emery. He's been prominent and early. It's taken there by Bowles. He tries to beat 2 or 3. He was strong enough. He stood and hunched in the tackle. Drives it down forward, looking down there for that of Rob Toohey, the captain for season 2014. And it gets punched away there. It's out towards Emery. Big Mulrooney was held when he didn't have the footy on the ground fighting. If it was the 150 gamer and Johnny Vlatko. Vlatko shuffled it out, and he's going to be careful here. The umpire has said, no, I'll have it. Thanks very much. We're going to throw the ball up around 60 metres, or right on the 50-metre mark for the tricolours. And it's Big Gemmell who gets his hands to it first towards that of Stubbs. Stubbs gets a quick hands out of it, out towards Eckerman. He's been promising early. There's Andrew Eckerman, the bearded Eckerman. He looks a handy type. Don't worry about that. He looks like a nice pickup, and he puts it down there towards that of the goal-kicking machine in Jamie Vlatko. And what's the umpire paid here? He didn't pay the advantage. He said there was none there. But Jamie Vlatko, they'll be looking for a big season from him. He's a recognised goal kicker and one of the key forwards in the NEAFL competition as Stubbs comes to the bench. And Shawnee Ellis has a quick change there with that of Jed Costigan. So we'll ride this home with Jamie Vlatko. Of course, his brother John in his 150th today for the Hills Eagles. They'd love to get a victory for John Vlatko and draw first blood in season 2014. He's about 40 metres directly in front. He gets under the footy. I think he likes it off the boot. No, he's just pushed it wide. There's a bit of a knock on him about his goal kicking. Doesn't make enough of it, but nonetheless, he's hit the scoreboard as they bring it in quickly through that of Jim Rice. Of course, the former Tuggeranong product, the evergreen Jim Rice, and it's taken out there and it's just punched away over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary line throw in right out the front of the natural image sign here at Allen Ray Oval. Of course, a monumental occasion for the tricolours today in renaming their oval after a club stalwart in Allen Ray. Gemmell gets first hands to the footy. He knocks it out only towards the advantage there of Hine. Hine gets it out and it's shuffled away through there. It's out towards Mathis. Let's hope he can stay injury-free in season 2014. He drives the ball long, looking down there for Payne. Payne uses that strong body to get in front yet again. Nick Payne, he gets another chance. Of course, Ben Burke, a much taller opponent, should be able to go with the Nick Payne. He's just so clever when the ball gets in the drop zone. Very, very good at protecting that drop zone is Nick Payne. We'll ride this home with Nick Payne looking for the tricolour second. Right on the 10-minute mark. Nick Payne, do we like that one off the boot? Yes, they do. A lot of clapping behind the goals. Nick Payne. So he gets his first for the afternoon as they go to a 12-7, 13-7. So that's the tricolours 2-1-13 to the Hills Eagles 1-2-8. Bringing you all the action live through neafl.com.au. As I said, we'll have an enhanced broadcasting experience for the viewer, brought to you through the YouTube channel in high definition. Streaming of 3 games this week, so you won't miss any of the action, but it's out towards that, and it was taken out of there in the middle of the ground there. It was Ruben Hupt, another new player for the tricolours. Sounds a bit like a hot dog, Hupt dog. So it's taken out towards that of Payne again. He was crunched in a tackle, but it's over to the crafty Nick Hine. Hine, he'll kick this, make no mistake about that. He's a clever player. What's the umpire said it's hit the top of the post, so it looked pretty good from the central broadcast position, but not good enough, says the goal umpire. He only put the one finger out. They bring it long. The Hills Eagles is punched from behind by Gemmell. The pack forms around here, right about 50-60 metres, and it's hacked out of the air by Hine again. This will bounce outside there. No, it's kept in there by Andrew McConnell. And it's still play on, and he comes back inboard. I think it was McConnell again. He was driven into the ground there. No, it wasn't McConnell. It was that of Ben Wharton, but it's just hacked forward by the Tricolours. Big Mitch Mulrooney resting down forward there. This will be interesting. It's a long way down there for Mulrooney, but he shuffles the ball out, and it's over there towards Costigan. Costigan out towards that of Fleming, I think, has taken the mark. Yes, it is. I think it is Jason Fleming. Is he going to line up for his second? I think it is. Jason Fleming. So he used his body and hands well there. Quick kick out of the pack by that of Costigan. Sees Fleming shooting for his second. Not a noted goal kicker is Jason Fleming. He makes no mistake about that. A wonderful start in 2014 for Jason Fleming. 2 sausage rolls, if you don't mind, here at Ainslie Oval. Now the Alan Ray Oval. So very proud day for the Ray family, as the Tricolours move along to 3-2-20. Hills Eagles trailing 1-2-8 after a promising start. Back to the middle of the ground. Ainslie small men, the class of Salter, Hine, Fleming, just starting to get on top of their opponents. We haven't seen much from their much vaunted recruit, the number 5 in Jericho. Eckerman's had a bit of it early. Stubbs, he's had a bit of it as well. So it is Browning to do battle in the middle of the ground there, and it's sharked off the pack there by that of Andrew McConnell. He drives it long, looking down there, but that's a clever mark taken there by Bowles. Bowles, he looks to come outside the opposite side. Yes, he does, and he gets a long, low-raking kick, but it's taken there, and that's a good mark there to Eugene Kruger. He's a good player as Eugene Kruger. Down to the big arms of Luke Gemmell wearing the number 30. Changed from that big high 58 from last year. Luke Gemmell, we'll see what his goal-kicking prowess is like. He's hard on the boundary line. It's a tough kick here at Alan Ray Oval. He puts it to the top of the square. That won't come around. Here's Vlatko at the back, but that's a good grab by Lucinda, and he's paid it. The umpire has paid a grab there to the number 7, Josh Milani. Milani right in front. No, he's taken it off him. The goal umpire's overruled, so it is a minor score to the Hills Eagles. A little bit of controversy early as they play on quickly. That's certainly a feature that I've noted early. Both sides playing on at every opportunity. Breakneck speed, and he wants to be careful there. Bernasconi out there towards that of Highfield. Highfield with a poor kick off the boot out there towards Lawless. Lawless just on the ground, the fresh man on the ground, Mickey Lawless. He's a class act, he's Lawless, and down on his hands and knees trying to get through there is Clint Mathis. But a scrum forms, a rugby scrum forms here as Mathis comes to the ground. They ring in the changes, both sides. It's Mulrooney to do battle with Browning. It's taken out there by Ian Lawless, out towards Hine, who's getting leather poisoning out here towards another man, Emery. He's had plenty of it in this first quarter. He's chased down by Dale Walker, but he was clever enough to get his kick away. As they bring it across through the middle of the ground through Ryan Barrett. Barrett has found Kruger, plenty of space in the middle. Have to pay a bit of attention to him as he drives it down there, looking down there for Josh Milani. Is making strong gains out there. It's out towards Lucinda. And it's Lucinda out towards that of out there to Highfield, and Sean Ellis takes a good grab against a much taller opponent. He brings it out through Highfield, who goes to that left foot, and he goes down towards that of Nick Payne. Payne tackled Burke without the ball, but it's down towards Kruger. Burke gets a quick shuffle up off the ground. He was successful in getting it out to Will Bradley. Kruger followed up his own kick, punched away there by Campbell. It's Kruger again with the orange boots. You can't miss him down towards Big Gemmell, the much taller opponent. Play the whistle is the call there. It's out. It's a foot race there between Bowles and Stubbs, and it's a free kick to Trent Stubbs. He played that really well, Trent Stubbs. He showed a bit of his class. Course off the AFL list, spent a bit of time at Collingwood, spent a little bit of time at the Hawks as well. He's a class act. 2013 best and fairest, Trent Stubbs. He's also been rewarded with a 50-metre penalty, which will bring him right in front. He won't miss this, Trent Stubbs, so that'll be the second. I'll mark it down already. Trent Stubbs comes in for the Hills Eagles second. That's a good kick there, so they move along to 15. The Tricolours 3-2-20. Very clever play there by Trent Stubbs. Both sides ringing the changes. Players will be blowing a little bit in their first hit out for season 2014. Of course, all the action, 3 games streamed to you live through the NEAFL channel. You won't miss it. If you can't get to the footy, you can log on your smartphone, you can log onto your laptop, you can log onto the airport lounges, wherever you are. You won't miss much of NEAFL 2014. Of course, a much expanded competition. We've seen the amalgamation of the Northern and Eastern conferences, so it should promote plenty of good football for season 2014. Back to the middle of the ground. Mulroney first hands to it's out towards the speedy Ellis, but he was out by O'Connell. Browning tackled from behind. That was a good vicious tackle there, and it was that of Walker. There's a couple of decisive tackles by Dale Walker, playing in a new role. Much more accustomed across the half-back, seems to be playing in an on-ball type role, follow-us type role, but the umpire says, I'll have it. Just off the centre of the square there, it's out towards that of Browning. He falls to ground, allows Ellis to tow it forward towards that of Salter. Salter quickly onto the boot, gets it down towards that of, I think it is Hine, the classy Nick Hine. He has started where he left off in season 2013, and he puts it forward. Don't worry about that, Nick Hine. He is a class player. He looks much more at home in season 2014. So that's his first for the afternoon, and the Tricolours fourth. So they've opened up a 9-point break. The Tricolours, of course, coached in season 2014 by the evergreen Chris Rourke. He's a good coach, Chris Rourke. One of his greatest strengths, I believe, is he coaches very well to his list, and he adapts a game plan to suit his list. Very, very clever and astute coach is Chris Rourke. Back to the middle of the ground, it's Mulroney to do battle with Browning. Umpire bounces it down. It doesn't really favour anyone. It favoured Browning in the end, but they weren't good enough to get away with it. Bonnie made a tackle. It was a crude attempt on Ellis, and it's in the middle. They shuffle it out, the Hills Eagles, but only as far as Mathis. He's had a couple of decisive. The pacey Mathis out towards the fresh man on in Vandenberg. Vandenberg has been called to play it on. He took a couple of steps. It's going to be holding the ball. My word, it is. Too slow there, Aaron. And you got caught, of course, the best and fairest from season 2013 at the Tricolours. It's out towards Bonnie to the run of Stubbs. Can he go for his second? No, he goes inside, and he goes towards that of Adam Eckerman, who floated forward, and he's got a shot directly in front, 30 metres out. Can he put the Hills Eagles third on the board and just keep him in touch at the 20-minute mark? He's been impressive already, has Adam Eckerman. We'll ride this home. Stubbs, it was Bonnie to Stubbs. Stubbs with a little chip inboard towards that of Eckerman, who found the space. Just coming up the ground. He looks like nice off the boot. My word, that's a lovely kick, Adam Eckerman. So he gets his first, and he gets the Hills Eagles for third. So they move to a 5-point difference here at Allen Ray Oval here in Canberra between Ainslie and the Hills Eagles in this round 1 2014 clash. Brought to you live through neafl.com.au. As we wait for the umpire to bring the ball back in, it'll be the big men to go at it in Browning and Mulroney. He's made a promising start, big Mitch Mulroney. They put the acid on him in pre-season at the end of last year, and he's responded from all reports. He's a big man. The umpire brings it back to the middle of the ground. Nick Hines had plenty of it in this quarter, as has Eckerman. That was a good tap there, straight to Vandenberg. Out to Lawless, out to Harris. A couple of stalwarts out there, and it's going out there towards that. And there's a good punch away there by Emery. He's been prominent early. That's Kieran Emery, and he punched it away there from Rob Toohey, the captain, in 2014. We're about 60 metres from the Tricolours' goal. I'm looking for a late sealer to possibly take the honours in the first quarter. It's out towards that of Harris. It was a quick handball out to Barry. He was caught out towards Vandenberg, still fighting away. Gets a quick kick out towards that man Emery. He's had plenty of it, as I said previously, in this first quarter. Kieran Emery, another new one for the Hills Eagles. And he goes further across the ground. He switches the play, and they come back down there towards looking for that of Risley, and a good shepherd there as the run of McConnell. McConnell, Risley went on. Now they go with a poor kick going forward there. He had Eckerman all on his own. Vlatko was tackled without the footy, and the umpire has seen it that way. So that was a poor defensive effort there from Lachlan Highfield. Is going to result in a shot on goal to Jamie Vlatko. Of course, his brother, as I mentioned earlier. They played on quickly. Vlatko, he's off target this time, and it'll be a minor score. 4 points the difference here at Allan Ray Oval here in Canberra, formerly Ainslie Oval, renamed today in a ceremony dedicating the oval to Allan Ray, a former stalwart of the Ainslie Football Club. We'll have the club president Ian Muir up here to talk a little bit more about that in detail. Of course, the AFL Canberra first grade on after this NEAFL contest. So plenty of football action here at Allan Ray Oval. The Rising Stars cancelled due to the weather today and were postponed, and it's out towards Eckerman. He's been prominent early. Nice kick outside 50. There's Eckerman, if you don't mind, for his second. He looks classy early, does Aaron Eckerman. He looks like a nice pickup wearing the number 4 for the Hills Eagles. So he launched a long bomb just on 50, and he found the big sticks and got the umpire to put the 2 fingers out. So as Big Browning runs off the ground. Looks like they've improved a lot in their depth this year at the Hills Eagles. Haven't travelled too well in the past, but we'll see how they go in 2014. The late withdrawal was Dragosevic. Of course, he was a ball magnet. Former Tiger. Former Tuggeranong coach. Coached them in season 2013. But it is Gemmell to go up, and that's a poor bounce by the umpire. He'll come back to throw it up. The 25-minute mark here. Round 1. NEAFL football. It's Mulrooney gets a high jump there. It goes through the legs of Jackson Ferguson, but it's shuffled out there towards the number 27 for the Hills Eagles. And he puts a big high bomb out there, and it's taken away there by Hine. He was tackled by Vlatko as they win it through in the contest. It's O'Connell. McConnell, is it? Yes, it's Andrew McConnell, and it's a good grab there taken by Bernasconi. He missed a lot of footy last year, did Cam Bernasconi. He's got a nice bit of size. I'll welcome him back in the back half. It's out towards Vandenberg. The 2013 best and fairest. Looks like he's picking up where he left from, and it's out there towards that of Tui. He was pushed into the contest by that of, and it's a good grab there by Jackson Ferguson. Ferguson with a little short chip, and he only goes as far as that of McNeice, the first goal scorer. McNeice puts it down there towards that of Milani, but it was a good grab taken there by Scott Reid, backing back with the football. I'm sure he called him in. He's got a good set of hands of Scotty Reid, the former Collingwood listed player. Plenty of AFL experience out there for the Hills Eagles. Scotty Reid lining up at point blank range at the top of the square. And he makes no mistake about that to Scott Reid, so he gets his first for the afternoon. And he also gets the 5th for the Hills Eagles in a great, as Emery, who's been close to the best man on the ground, comes off with a very bad head gash. I want to get him fixed up and get out there because he's been very prominent early in this round 1 clash. 34-26. It is the Hills Eagles stealing the thunder late in this first quarter of the season opener here at Allan Ray Oval. Eckerman's been fantastic. Kieran Emery's been fantastic. McConnell's done plenty of work. Of course, getting our first use of it from the Hills Eagles is out towards the classy Stubbs. Stubbs quickly gets it off his boot. He's very quick hand to foot. It's out to the stronger body there of Lucas O'Neill onto the run of Bernasconi. Bernasconi puts it towards Vandenberg, and the will of Aaron Vandenberg just to want to get that footy. That was great work there by Aaron Vandenberg. He looks to come inboard. Vandenberg switches it through the middle of the corridor looking for Hine. He's classy, is Nick Hine. He's had plenty of it in this quarter. He's looking out there towards that of Dale Walker. Walker marks inside 50. He goes with a quick short ball out there towards Payne. Who's following it up down there? It's Jed Costigan. He lays a tackle on Burke, and it's shuffled over the boundary line. The umpire says, I'll have it. We'll throw it in about 10 metres from the Tricolours' goal. Can they steal a late one here in the red zone for quarter 1? Just about finish even for the opening quarter. NEAFL 2014, and has taken away there. I think it was Mathis out towards Walker, who started it with a quick snap. It is Dale Walker wearing the 11, legs 11. Dale Walker with a quick one in red time, just about quarter time here at Allen Ray Oval. So he snatched a quick one, just what the Hills Eagles didn't want at the stoppage. Is there a point down now, the tricolours? Both sides started promising, highly entertaining first quarter. Plenty of skill, plenty of talent on show here in round one. A couple of nice inclusions to the Hills Eagles, and of course the tricolours. Very hard to beat here at their home turf as the umpire bounces it down. That was a poor bounce by the umpire. He'll bring it back for a throw up. Throws it up now, and it is Big Gamble to do battle with Mulrooney. Line on a shed in the middle of the ground. A quick kick out of the ground there by Costigan. Costigan was quick on the boot. It's out there towards that of Kruger. Kruger with a quick handball over there towards that of Turner. He was caught. The crowd are pulled for the ball, and the umpire was very slow to put his whistle to his mouth and say, "I'll have it, thanks very much." We'll have a bounce down right on the 50-metre arc here at Allen Ray Oval. It's Browning. He's been good in the middle of the ground as Browning, the former Belconnen fullback. And it's out towards Bonnie. Bonnie with a quick handball over the back of the head. It's out towards that of Kruger. He's been prominent in this first quarter as Eugene Kruger. He goes down there towards another man who's taken 2 or 3 grabs, and that's Vlatko. Jamie Vlatko, the number 3, the head-banded Jamie Vlatko, puts it down there towards another man who's been very good this quarter. Got his hands to it a couple of times, and he will shoot for his third, Adam Eckerman. Highly rated player, and he looks the goods, the number 4 for the Hills Eagles. He's going for his third goal right on the 30-minute mark here at Allen Ray Oval, round 1. What a great start for Adam Eckerman and his new club. I bet you the Hills Eagles will be hoping he can continue this form up. Eckerman looks nice off the boot. The goal umpire has moved to the middle and says it's only one behind, so it looked good off the boot from the central commentary position, but they bring it in. It was only a minor score. So the Hills Eagles furge further ahead. And that's a good grab there taken by Vandenberg. Vandenberg out towards the run of Bernasconi. Walker was involved in that passage. Out there towards Payne. Burke looks like he's got his number, but thumped forward by Payne. Out towards Kruger. He's had plenty of it in this quarter. Out towards the run there. The number 18 in Jack Dimmery. He was a rising star last year, was Dimmery. And it's out there towards that of Reed, who marks directly in front. Plenty of space, plenty of movement in there in the forward 50 for the Hills Eagles. They've had 9-10 shots on goal early in this first quarter. It is Reed shooting for his second. Scott Reed was named at centre-half back, moving nicely inside that forward 50, of course. NEAFL representative in 2013. He gets right under that to Scotty Reed. What does the goal umpire say? You betcha. They take the honours in this first quarter here at Allen Ray Oval. That's a good get there by Scott Reed. He's second, and the Hills Eagles, they move further ahead in this first quarter. So 6-4-40 plays 5-2-32. I make it 41. Maybe the scoreboard's not keeping up with me, or I'm not keeping up with the scoreboard. Back to the middle of the ground. Long quarter here at to start off round 1, 2014. Good crowd on hand, bathed in sunshine in Canberra after a treacherous week of rain. Much needed rain, might I add. But the Allen Ray Oval is looking a treat. And the umpire, that should be called back, but he's let it go. And there's the siren to end round 1, quarter 1, season 2014. It is the Hills Eagles taking quarter 1 on a 6-4-40. 5-2-32. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We'll be back shortly through neafl.com.au. Nick Salter brings up his first for the quarter. As the margin is 3 points here at Allen Ray Oval. Basked in glorious sunshine in round one. NEAFL football, and a good tackle made there in the number 4 by Ludica. And it's taken away out towards Mathis. He got plenty of it in that first quarter, but it was punched away there by, or a quick kick attempted there by that of Adam Eckerman. He was a star with 2 goals in that first quarter. Adam Eckerman. So free kick out of bounds on the full. Hills Eagles and bringing it in far side. Brings it into the middle of the ground, looking for that of Reedy. No, it was Vlatko. Out there towards Mulrooney. You want to quickly get rid of that big Mitch Mulrooney. It's out there towards Mathis, the speedy Mathis. He brings it down towards the broadcast side, boundary side. Good crowd on hand here today, as it's just punched over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in. And that was good defensive work there by, I think it was Nick Hines. So I think he's been awarded a free kick. No, the umpire has just said, hang on a minute. What's he doing? A free kick. He's gone to the Hills Eagles. And it's going to be a free kick there to Jackson Ferguson. So I don't know what that was for. Maybe it was something off the ball. It was a punch, I've been told, in the commentary box. So a little bit of a short jab to the ribs. The umpire didn't miss that one. Jackson Ferguson, the recipient of the free kick, he brings it and tries to improve the angle right to the top of the square. That's a good kick there, but it's sharked away there by the number 2 in Scotty Reid, but he wasn't good enough to get his third, so he gets a minor score as the Hills Eagles increase their lead by 1. And it's brought in quickly by the Tricolours. A notable difference in the styles this season. They're all playing on very quickly from the kick out. So it's taken away. It's Vandenberg in the middle. He was prominent. He darts around one. Showed a bit of candy around Ferguson. He puts it out to the run there of Salter. But it's Emery, the bandaged Emery. Now, he was very good in that first quarter. He lays a tackle on towards Salter, and it was just punched away there. That was the Reuben Hupt, another new player for the Tricolours, and it goes down towards Payne. Payne had his head ripped off there by Burke, but he was clever enough to get a handball out towards the reigning best and fairest, Aaron Vandenberg. Well done. The two combining, Nick Payne with Aaron Vandenberg, screwing one around his body and getting his first on the board for the season 2014, the Tricolours second of the second quarter. So they bring it back to their favour, 7-2-44, 6-6-42. Clever goal there and a clever handball to Nick Payne. Got the desired result, working well in tandem there with Aaron Vandenberg. As the umpire comes back to the middle of the ground, it is Gemmell to do battle with the big Mitch Mulrooney. The two giants go at it. The umpire puts it down towards the favour there of Gemmell. He tapped it straight down to Bonnie. Bonnie wasn't good enough to take it. It's out there towards that, and that's a good grab there by Rob Toohey. Toohey with a quick handball out towards the man that kicked it to him in Vandenberg. Vandenberg puts it down the throat of Payne. Very hard to stop is Nick Payne on that short distance. Right where you want it, right in the breadbasket. Well done, Aaron Vandenberg. Take a bow, son. You can see why he was the best and fairest in 2013. Heavily chased by a number of the Sandford clubs. Resisted the temptation to switch. Stay at the Tricolours. It's out towards Nick Payne. Can he get his second for the afternoon? Well, right at home with Nick Payne. He puts a low helicopter in, but it was good enough to get over the head of Ben Burke. And he gets his second, Nick Payne, and he gets the Tricolours 8. So a promising start by the Tricolours here for quarter 2. Desired words from Coach Rourke at the huddle must have had some effect. So they've started with a bang in this second quarter, have the Tricolours in a glorious day here in Canberra for round 1 of North Eastern Football League action 2014. Of course, we'll be bringing you 3 games live stream through the NEAFL channel. You can watch it all in high definition on YouTube, an enhanced viewer enhancement for season 2014 as the umpire comes back to the middle of the ground. It is Mulrooney to lock horns with Gemmell. Umpire bounces it down. The big men go at it. It favours Gemmell, but Mulrooney was good enough to get a stop on it. Big Gemmell chases his own work. He tries to punch it out of the ground there, only as far as that of Jimmy Rice, the former Tuggeranong, formerly of the Narrandera captain coach, winning captain coach down there at Narrandera of the Farah League. So it's taken out there by it was Mulrooney with a quick handball as they put it inside the forward 50 again. It's out towards Salter. Stood strong. Payne didn't go in at the contest. That was clever, Payne. Nick Payne. The two Nicks combining well there. Salter and that of Payne. Payne gets his third. So Nick Salter, he didn't go in at the contest. He didn't overcommit. Did Nick Payne. He's just a really, really smart player inside that forward 50, Nick Payne. So he's got his third. He's starting to create a bit of headache up there. So when the Tricolours get their third of the quarter. A great start here to the Tricolours. They've come out and put Hills Eagles into a bit of shell shock. As the big men go at it. And it is Reuben Hupt. The umpire's decided to call this one back, arresting Ruckman, the new bloke in Reuben Hupt. Sounds like the Hupt dog. Reuben Hupt going against Luke Gemmell. Gemmell gets first hands to it, and it's taken away out of the middle there by Ian Lawless, and solidly met there, and a strong tackle was Will Bradley, and it is play on. Tackle without the ball was Bonnie. The two number 8s went out at the respective number 8s, but the umpire says, I'll have it. As the umpires seem to be letting a fair bit go in season 2014. Let's hope the trend continues. And it is Gemmell getting first hands out towards Vlatko. That's Jamie Vlatko. Out there towards a quick kick out of the ground there by the number 27 for the Hills Eagles. I think it's a goal. It hasn't been touched on the way through. No, my word, it is a goal. So the Hills Eagles just scored a goal through Matthew Eastman, another late inclusion for the Hills Eagles. Matt Eastman, wearing the 27. He gets their first of the quarter, a much needed one to keep him in touch. They move to 48. 7-6-48 plays the Tricolours 9-2-56. Quarter 2 here in North Eastern Football League action 2014. Wait for the umpire to bring it back to the middle of the ground. It is Hupp to do battle with Gemmell. The umpire favours that of Gemmell. He's getting the bounce of the ball. Don't worry about it. It was quick out there towards Turner. Turner drives the ball forward. Down there towards that of, I think it was Dimry, was it? Yes, it was Dimry. Solid tackle, solid work inside the forward 50. And it's going to be rewarded there. So it is Andrew McConnell will be the recipient of the free kick. The number 12 started in great fashion for the Hills Eagles. Another one of their new recruits as the big fellas changed at the interchange for the Hills Eagles. And it's out there towards that of Vlatko, but it was intercepted by Mathis. Mathis gets a quick one out there towards Fleming. Finds the run there of Tui, I think it is. No, it is Ellis, is it? No, it's Mathis. Back into the hands there of Jimmy Rice. Rice in through the middle of the ground. The speedy Mathis. He got a poor kick off the boot there, but it's going to be all right as he's found Lawless. Lawless, and he goes down there towards Mulrooney. He was pushed off the footy there by Emery. Emery butters up well. Browning mopping up like a ruckman should down there inside the back 50, but wasn't good enough to take the mark was Will Bradley, and it was touched out of bounds. So we'll get a boundary line throw in about 35 metres from the Tricolours goal. 10 minutes gone in this quarter. It is the Tricolours 9-2-56 leading the Hills Eagles 7-6-48. Haven't sighted much of Eckerman. He was a star in that first quarter. It's out towards Ellis. The speedy Sean Ellis around goals. He is deadly. Sean Ellis, that's his bread and butter. He kicks the 10th for the Tricolours. They're 4th for the quarter. So a great start here will be pleasing the coaching staff of the Tricolours here at Allen Ray Oval in round 1 2014. Sean Ellis, the speedy Sean Ellis, of course, a former Tuggeranong product, spent a couple of seasons at Cobram Baruga and came back to the Tricolours last year. He looks like he's done a bit of work on the facial hair and the ink over season 2014. And done a bit of colouring in. Going for the Buddy Franklin look is Sean Ellis, the speedy Sean Ellis. And it's bounced down towards it. Score, and it's quickly brought in there by Bowles. No, it was Rice that brought it in. Harris, the evergreen Ash Harris. Harris goes to the trusty left side, brings it out. He sees a player unattended. I think it's Mathis out there, is it, for the... yes, it was. No, it was Lawless. Lawless, the number 7, but only as far as the 24 in Emery for the Hills Eagles. Emery switches play. We had some interruptions there. I apologise for that. We've just lost the stream through the Telstra network, so it's out there towards McConnell. He's really died off after having a fairly decent impact in the first quarter. It's out there towards that of Risley. Risley with a quick chip out towards Gemmell, sliding on his knees. The number 30, big Luke Gemmell. He got it over to the 150 gamer in the captain in Vlatko. Vlatko looks for his brother. He crunched Mick Lawless, did Jamie Vlatko. Out towards Bonnie, the last goal scorer for the Hills Eagles. Got a quick toe poke out there towards Milani, and he got a quick handball out there towards Vlatko, and Jamie Vlatko kicks his first for the afternoon. So good lead-up work inside the forward 50 there by the Hills Eagles resulted in maximum gain. As they share the footy around, they're really cohesive. Remarkable difference under their new coach in Michael Sankey. So as Reed looks to come back on the ground, it is all tied up here at the 25-minute mark. It is 68 apiece. 11-2-68 to 10-8-68. 21 goals scored in half a footy. Not a bad start for round 1 2014. So that's a great scoring rate. Both sides, Ainslie only the 2 behind, so great efficiency in front of the goals, and that favoured Mulrooney out towards Rice, wearing the 25 for the Tricolours. He got onto the left boot and he's kept pumping it down the middle of the ground. He looks like he's going to be a handy pickup for the Tricolours. Out there towards Hine, who's died off a bit this quarter. Tried to get a quick handball over there by Payne, but it was intercepted by Stuart Turner for the Hills Eagles, and they quickly bring it down there towards that of, I think it's Vlatko out there that just took that mark. I think it's John Vlatko, yes, or Eckerman. Can't quite see. No, it was Eckerman, the classy Eckerman, the number 4, out towards Stubbs. He was clever on the ground there, but it was only as far as that of Cinder, and he's found Ellis. Ellis is getting pleaded for by Lawless inside the forward 50, and he looked further afield for Salter, but chipping in for a good mark was Risley for the Hills Eagles. He brings it across the ground here, looking for the number 18 of Dimmery, Jack Dimmery, but Lawless in a great defensive act there. Mick Lawless out towards Harris. Harris goes onto that favoured left, sold a bit of candy, and it goes out there towards Salter, and it's cleaned up by Ellis. Bread and butter for Shawnee Ellis. Quick snap around the corner. That's his second. Sean Ellis. You don't give him too many opportunities at that front and centre, because he plays it extremely well. So well done to Nick Salter and well done to Mick Lawless. So fantastic defensive work in there. He read it well. He didn't overcommit at the contest. The Tricolours combining well there. 12-2-74, 10-8-68, 25 minutes gone. Some nice combinations going. 19, Sean Ellis. The miniature Buddy Franklin lookalike. All he needs is the 23 and another 5 foot. Back to the middle of the ground. It's Hupt doing battle with Gemmell. Gemmell first hands to the footy. Rice punched it out towards Hupt on the ground. Costigan was in there fighting it for the Tricolours, but it was a quick kick out there by the Hills Eagles. Bonnie, the last goal scorer, one of the goal scorers for the Hills Eagles, it's Vlatko, and it was punched away there from Reed in a good defensive act there by Walker. They've put Walker back onto Reed. He created a bit of havoc in that first quarter, did Scotty Reed, and he's quelled his influences, Dale Walker, and it's out towards Fleming, couple of goals early, out towards that of Ellis. He had a quick look, the Hills Eagles defender in Risley, I think it is, the number 14. It is Risley. He got it on the boot quickly out towards Rice. Rice in the white boots goes down there towards Fleming. Can he get his third? Jason Fleming playing in a defensive role on Eugene Kruger. So Jason Fleming He'd be 48 from goal. This will test him. The number 6 for the Tricolours. Looking for their 13th and looking for his third. I bet he went to bed thinking last night he wasn't going to kick 3 goals. Jason Fleming. And that's a reward for effort. That's hard work. Well done, Jason Fleming. It'll test him. That it will. And it's gone through for a behind. As Fleming gets a minor score. And the Tricolours inch further ahead. Here in this round 1 NEAFL clash for 2014. At the newly named Allan Ray Oval, we'll be having the President, Ian Muir, come and speak to us about the naming of the Allan Ray Oval. And it's out towards Ferguson. I think it is out there. And it is the 23 in Jackson Ferguson. Dropped what he probably should have taken. He's got his body into the right position. They're looking a little bit tired, the Hills Eagles. So it'll be interesting to see if the Tricolours can pile a couple on. And it's out there towards Salter, but he got a foot in the way. I think it was Turner. Out towards Mathis as allows. It tried Bernasconi, but it's taken away there by the first goal scorer in McNeese. Ball's on the ground, trying to be shuffled out by Bernasconi. There's plenty of argy-bargy right on the AFC logo as Trent Stubbs comes in for a bit of stuff with Reed. And a Walker, as I mentioned, he's gone back on to Reed after Reed had a blistering first quarter. Out there towards Rice. Rice tries to hang strong, but he was met solidly by three Hills Eagles defenders. Jimmy Rice stood strong there. And it's Hupt. Did well there, Ruben Hupt. And it's just going to beat them all over the line. And it beats Jack Dimry sporting a new look with the ponytail a la Michael Hurley. The number 18 both wearing the 18s and with the little tufts of hair going up in the air. So he's a good player for the Hills Eagles last year was Dimry. He's got precise foot skills taken away there by, I think it was Risley who tried to get a quick kick off the boot. And it was only as far, no, it wasn't Risley. Yes, it was Risley, and it's out towards Walker. Takes a gallop over towards that of his mate in Harris. Harris getting it screamed at by, this is Highfield. Highfield for a rare goal. Oh, Lockie Highfield followed the ball down the field and kicks a goal. So that's his first. That'd almost be Lachlan Highfield's first goal in senior footy. The number 30 for the Tricolours gets his first, and the 14th for the Tricolours. $13.381, 10.868. So good lead-up play there by Dale Walker. He's quelled the influence of Reed in this quarter. So Lockie Highfield, didn't he like that one? The number 30 streamed down from half back, kicked the goal. So well done. I think he's playing inside the forward 50. So Coach Rourke has obviously seen something in the pre-season to play Lockie Highfield. He's actually quite a good. He meets the ball at the highest point, so it's clever coaching there by Rourke. It's out there towards Costigan. He's been a real find in the middle of the ground as Jed Costigan. Must have improved his motor skills over the summer, and it's out there, and it's Salter make a solid contest out there. You know you're going to work around him. So Will Bradley, Nick Salter, he's got some very good defensive mechanisms to his game. You can see that already. That AFL experience, of course. Been a number of years on the Port Adelaide list, drafted in and he's come to Canberra. The boundary line throw in right on the 50-metre arc there near the Tricolours goals. It's Hupp to do battle with Browning, and it's just palmed down there by Browning. Stubbs got a quick kick away, and I think it was clever enough to go outside the ground there. So it'll be another boundary line thrown as the players take a deep breath. It's quite warm, 21 degrees here in Canberra. The rain stayed away after a very wet week, which resulted in a lot of football being cancelled. Of course, the grounds were closed. A lot of the ACT government grounds closed, forcing a number of sporting events to be cancelled or postponed, but that was Costigan who drove it inside there, and it hasn't gone through yet, so it's play on. And you play to the umpire's whistle, and it's taken away out there by, I think it's Will Bradley, and he was solidly met there by Reuben Hupt, and it's a quick kick away there, and it's only into the arms of Mick Lawless. The number 7 plays on quickly out towards Salter. Salter was quick hand to boot, and he puts it down there towards that of Cameron Emery. He's been a rock-solid defender down there for the Hills Eagles. He goes out there towards the number 10 in Kruger. Fleming has quelled his influence. I'd say Fleming's probably won that battle with a couple of goals. Jason Fleming out towards Bonnie, one of the Hills Eagles goal scorers. Damien Bonnie, former Quaffle representative player, NEAFL representative player in 2013, and it's out there towards, and he's had his head ripped off as Mick Lawless, but he was good enough to get up off his knees, snap it around his body. Mickey Lawless, number 7, salutes the crowd with both hands in the air. Mick Lawless right on the stroke of half time as a wild altercation breaks out there as Salter is in the middle of it, and it looks like Sean Ellis down there is on the ground holding his face. We'll see what tried happened there as we look at the video monitor and tell me what happened. Look behind it is a nasty altercation, but it looks like Ellis is holding his face, and that was a nasty off-the-ball incident. So unless it's being beat up there as both sides tried to flex their muscle, but let's not get away from that great kick there from Mick Lawless. So a great snap there by Mick Lawless, and he saluted the crowd. The number 7, so well done. Back to the middle of the green. It's out towards Rice. He's been decisive in this second quarter. Out towards Highfield. Can he shoot for his second? As the Tricolours take a very good quarter in which they've kicked 9, shooting for their 10th goal. No, he's missed it, so only a minor score. They bring it in through that of Kruger. Kruger off one step. That was a lazy kick, Eugene Kruger, who was lucky enough to get away with it. It's out towards Bradley. Bradley brings it inboard towards the first goal scorer in McNeice. He was wrapped up there by Nick Hine. Didn't overcommit, just guarded space. That's class, the former St Kilda player in Nick Hine. Just it's a lesson for the young players out there. Just guarded the space, waited and put the pressure on the player and got the tackle. Was unlucky not to be rewarded. Here's centre wing. It's out towards Mulrooney as the siren sounds for half time. It is the Tricolours with a 20-point lead, 14-4, 88 to the Hills Eagles, 10-8, 68 in what was a 9-goal second quarter for the Ainslie Tricolours against the 4-goal quarter from the Hills Eagles. So a great quarter of football from the Tricolours as Nick Payne, he's got 4, Salter's got a couple, Fleming's got a couple, Vandenberg, Ellis has got a couple, and of course that cracker from Lawless. We'll bring you all the action after half time. It is the Tricolours, 14-4, 88, 10-8, 68. Welcome back to round one of this Northeastern Football League, or NEAFL clash for round one 2014. I must get used to saying that, of course, we've amalgamated the Northern and the Eastern Conferences. Is the Tricolours, 14-4-88, 10-8-68. Joining me in the broadcast box is none other than the Ainslie president here on a very special occasion, Ian Muir. Welcome to the program, Ian.
Thanks, Brady. Great to be here, mate.
A fantastic start to the day for the Tricolours in the renaming of the Alan Ray Oval here at Ainslie.
Yes, mate. Look, a very, very special day in I'd say, one of the most significant days in our club's history. Without going on too much, but the guy had more or less a lifelong involvement with the club, 46 years on either football club or social club boards, 186 games, 4 BNFs, 4 grand finals, 3 BNFs, representative games, club patron. I just can't. Just an amazing amount of time that he spent in building this great organisation.
So devoted a lifelong involvement to the Tricolours, hence the gracious act from the social end football clubs in renaming the Ainslie Oval to the Alan Ray Oval today. So a fantastic honour for the Ray family and a great, I guess, initiative by the Ainslie Football Club, Ian.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, look. When Alan started to, his health started to deteriorate, we just thought, how can we commemorate him? And we thought there was no better way than doing this and renaming the oval. It's called Alan Ray Oval Ainslie, so we're still keeping that Ainslie content, which I'm sure he'd love. It was a great ceremony there this morning. We had the Ray family walk through a guard of honour with all of our junior, under 18s, our second grade, and it was just an unbelievable sea of people to see it unfold, and lovely to see Pam unveil the sign and then walk through to the memorial, which is inside the ground. So it was just a wonderful celebration.
So well done, and congratulations to the Ainslie Football Club on bestowing the honour to the Ray family. Of course, we'll see some of that throughout the week in the NEAFL highlights package because our cameras captured it early. But nonetheless, a great start by the Tricolours in the first half, Ian.
Mate, it's a shootout, isn't it? What a great game of football. It's fast, and it's physical. I'm really enjoying the game. So we've got away to a good start, but geez, they're a big team, and we've just got to keep working hard. But I think it's a really, really good battle in there, and really enjoying watching it.
And they're bounced down here for the start of the third quarter. It's Bonnie with a quick kick out of the middle of the ground. He puts the Hills Eagles in overdrive. Of course, a 9-goal second quarter in for the Tricolours. Nick Payne devastating inside the forward 50. Looks like he's already struck up some great combinations with your star recruiting Nick Salter.
Yeah, they're getting on really well. He's come across, and look, what we've loved about Nick is his work rate. It's just been second to none. He's brought his AFL experience to the table, and he's worked hard and leading the way, particularly at training. He's very much, he leads and they follow, which is fantastic.
And it's the leading possession and getter on the ground in Vandenberg with a clearing kick. So just a quick match statistics to half-time. Ainslie have only had it 152 times as opposed to the Hills Eagles 160. Right on cue is Salter with a goal outside the just about 40 metres directly in front. That's his second, is Nick Salter. He looks like he's going to be a real handful for the opposition clubs going into season 2014. Ian.
Yeah, look, Nick probably, when we first looked at getting him across, was probably going to go through our midfield, but with the loss of Horner and Bennett, he's lining up at centre forward and full forward. I think we're running through the ball, on the ball a bit today, but look, he's a class act. He's going to be closely marked going throughout the season, but look, he's just, from our point of view, for having a player like that on our list and doing all the team things right, that's an important thing coming from a guy of his stature and level.
So we go back to the middle of the ground. It's the two big men, the former Belconnen big man in Browning. He's done quite well. He's acquitted himself in the ruck for the Hills Eagles against the much improved Mitch Mulrooney, and it's out towards the star in Stubbs. Stubbs out to the evergreener Harris. Harris is solidly met in the middle of the ground there, and a good tackle there from Benny Wharton. Just a couple of leading possession getters on the ground for the Tricolours. Vandenberg with 14, the silky Nick Hine with 12, and the Damien Bowles, the number 28 with 10, and of course Nick Payne with 4 goals. It's out to the shuffler in Lawless, out towards Fleming, who's done a great job defensively, kicked a couple of sausage rolls himself. Rob Toohey, the captain for 2000, out towards the speedy Mathis. Mathis quickly got disposed of the ball. It's out towards Browning. It's a long way down there for Browning. He wasn't able to get down and pick that up, and he was met there by McConnell. He's tapered off after a bright start. It's out there towards the Hills Eagles as they put it down towards Bonnie and Stubbs as he takes a good mark low to the ground. Trent Stubbs, You can see why the AFL clubs like Trent Stubbs and why he won the best and fairest in 2013 as he finds another Southport product in Milani. His goal kicking's let him down a little bit, but he's looked dangerous inside the forward 50, the number 7 for the Hills Eagles, Ian.
There's no doubt. Look, they've recruited well. They've got quite a few players that have come down from the Northern Conference, and obviously, it does appeal to coming to the bigger cities for employment opportunities as well, but no, they've got some very silky clean players.
As we ride this one home with Milani, it's a lot better shot than the last one as the players get around Josh Milani. That'll do his confidence the world of good, and that's the right start that the Hills Eagles needed for this quarter 3. Of course, they call it the Premiership quarter, as they get their first score on the board for quarter 3 as they move to 74, but the Tricolours still maintain the rage here at Allan Ray Oval, Ainslie. It is a 15-4-94 to 11-8-74. Of course, a couple of the Hills players, we'll get back to the Ainslie ones. Eckerman, the number 4 out there, of course, in 2008 draftee, played at Adelaide. Jericho not playing for the Hills Eagles today, drafted in 2002 by the Adelaide Crows, spent a lot of time on their list, Norwood player. So they've recruited extremely well, the Hills Eagles, which is great for the competition.
Absolutely, no doubt. And look, I think, Sydney and Uni have both picked up quite a lot of talent and players. And look, it's fantastic for the competition. You will not get an easy game in this competition. It is going to be a real test for all the sides that are in.
It marks for a very interesting competition in 2014. Of course, it was a raft of changes, as I said, throughout the program, but it's out towards Barry. He's looked good. He comes inside the left foot there. We'll talk a little bit more about the changes that have occurred in the off-season of 2013. Out towards Harris. He's had plenty of the footy too, as Ash Harris, as he keeps paddling the ball out. He gets the unrewarded axe to Ash Harris. It comes out there towards that of Vandenberg. Vandenberg lobs it forward looking for Payne. He got a push in the back. Here's another star performer for the Eagles, and that was Emery. It's out towards the run there of Kruger. The number 10 in Eugene Kruger immediately comes in board through the centre of the corridor, but a poor kick there as it was dropped there by Barry. Mulrooney got a quick handball away out there towards Bernasconi. Bernasconi back to the reliable Bowles. Bowles now over towards, I think it was Rice there. No, it wasn't Rice. It was Tui, the captain for 2014, out towards the run on Vandenberg. Vandenberg chips it in towards there. The hands let him down there on that occasion, Hine, and it was allowed the Hills defenders to get it away. But a quick hand in there from Ian Laws out towards Barry. He'll come back onto the left foot in the middle of the ground, and it's out there, and he finds, who's he found out there? He's Jordan Lucinda, I think, is it?
It is pronounced Utica.
Utica, so that's an interesting, it's a silent I, it's I-U-D-I-C-A, so mark that one down, viewers, Utica. I know there's plenty tuning in from around the country. That's going to be the great thing about NEAFL football in 2014. 3 live streams this weekend, Ian. We go to Northern Territory, of course. We go to Brisbane with the Aspley Hornets taking on the Belconnen Magpies, so the coaches and the supporters and the players alike have got full coverage, full access through this expanded competition in 2014.
That's fantastic. So that's up from last year, Brett?
That it is. We will endeavour to stream nearly every game live, but it's Lawless. He's been a real spark down there, so it's a good kick there. He kicked a cracking goal in that second quarter there, did Ian Lawless. He's going to be sorely missed when he goes overseas in 6 or 7 weeks.
That's
so as Mick Lawless it is, sorry. So did I call him Ian Lawless? As they crack the ton, the Tricolours here at Allan Ray Oval. But getting back to that, the expanded competition and the changes, of course, we saw the Tuggeranong go out of the Eastern Conference. We've seen Broadbeach, Labrador and Mount Gravatt disappear from the Northern Conference. We've amalgamated into one draw now, and it'll just shape for a fantastic competition and bring the desired results back to a competitive game every week for everyone, Ian.
Absolutely, no doubt. And that I suppose the interesting thing's going to be is how we shape up against the AFL clubs, and a lot of their depth and things will depend on their injuries as well, in regards to their senior side. So they're always sometimes a bit of an unknown, but it'll really test us. There's no doubt about that. But we're here to be tested. We want to play the best possible footy we can, and I think we're doing that at the moment. And
it's out to Vandenberg, out to another AFL player, and that's a good grab inside the forward 50. He has made a serious difference coming on the ground. Mick Lawless in that forward 50. He's lining up for his third, so he kicked a cracking goal in that second. He was the last goal scorer, so the number 7 for the Tricolours. the former captain, of course, new captain for the Tricolours in season 2014. Is that right, Ian?
Yeah, Ian Lawless was the former captain, not Mick. Yeah,
yep.
So, but Mickey having a shot now. The difference with him this year, we had a chronic hamstring and lower back problem, which we got sorted out halfway through the season, and he's done a full pre-season, and that's been the difference to him, and he's kicked another goal there.
So that's his third. So as they skip further away, the Hills Eagles really need to put the concentration back on, because it's a real shootout here at Alan Ray Oval, Ainslie, in this round one clash. They looked like they've run out a little bit of steam, the Hills Eagles out there, Ian, but nonetheless they've got some calibre and class all over the ground, as we spoke about a couple of their pickups in Eckerman. I really like the look of him, the number 4. I like the look of Stubbs. He looks like he's picked up where he left off last year. Of course, Reid, they've had to move him back in the back half. I liked him better in the forward half, Scott Reid. I think he's a natural. He's back down there now. He's on Highfield, so they've gone defensive, the Tricolours, but it's back to the middle of the ground. It's Browning and young Ruben Hupt. Where's he from?
He's a local junior. Yeah, he's done really well. He went overseas last year to do the usual gap year thing that they like to do, and has had a massive pre-season, and getting his just rewards and being the second ruckman, with young Mitch.
That's
2
fantastic.
local kids, which is great.
Fantastic, and Mulrooney's acquitted himself out there really well. I believe he's had an outstanding pre-season. A couple of the senior players sort of put it on. Big Mitch Mulrooney to after the kerfuffle with Kane Morris. That's still in limbo, is it, Ian?
No, it's been settled. It got settled this week, which is great for both parties. Look, the outcome being that we've settled for an amount to clear him.
Right. So he'll play in the Ovens of Murray this year?
Play in the Ovens of Murray, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's up to big Mitch Mulrooney. It's his spot to lose, and Ruben Hupt, of course, a local junior. It's great to see him developing, and that's that star in Eckerman. Eckerman, the number 4, over towards the runner Stubbs. I think it is out there. No, it's not Stubbs. I missed the number there, but it's out towards Milani. He makes plenty of space inside the forward 50, does Milani. Just needs to get the ball out in front of him, and I think he'll prove a handful for a lot of the opposition defenders going forward in 2014. But the Hills Eagles, plenty of voice needed out there now. This is the time to concentrate. John Vlatko, 150 for the Hills Eagles. I see Michael Sankey quoted him as the best captain ever to play for the Hills Eagles, so that's a pretty big rap.
That's a massive rap. That's a massive rap.
So it was a quick kick there by Reid. Reid out towards the evergreen, ever-reliable Aaron Vandenberg, picking up where he left off last year, 2013 best and fairest. So Ian's going to depart the coverage. It's thanks for you dropping in and sharing the thoughts about the Alan Ray. We wish you best for the season 2014. No doubt we'll have you on NEAFL.com.au throughout the season, but good luck for the season, Ian.
That'll be a pleasure. Thanks for having us,
Thanks
Brett.
for dropping in.
Thank you.
Out towards Tui, out towards Bowles. Bowles kicks it out there towards Lawless. He was just run under the footy a little bit there by Ryan Barrett. Barrett now was able to get to his feet first as Lawless went to the ground. Barrett gets it quickly, hurriedly on the left foot, out there towards, and he was pulled down, and a free kick goes out there towards Jack Demery. Of course, the 18 ponytail, a la Michael Hurley, he gets an opportunity now to shoot for goal. He's a lovely kicker. The football is Jack Demery. As he clears him out, he just lobs it over. He loves to read the drop. It's out towards Milani. Got his hands to it first, and what's the umpire? The player's appealing for holding the ball. The umpire says, I'm not going to be brought into that 10-minute mark here. 17-4-106, 11-8-74. So the Tricolours, are they going to open the account for season 2014, or is it going to be the Hills Eagles, the visitors from down the highway? It's Vandenberg tried to tow it off the ground out, only as far as Bonnie. Vlatko's in the middle of that one out there. So it is 107.74 here at Ainslie's home ground. A very warm, humid day. Be 21, 22 degrees. The players must be starting to feel it in what's been a shootout. Out towards Demery, right on cue. That evergreen boot of Demery. He kicks his first, and he kicks the 12th for the Hills Eagles as they peg this lead a little bit. 27 points the margin here at Alan Ray Oval, Ainslie. Here in this round one clash. NEAFL football, neafl.com.au. As I said, you can join us live throughout the season. Enhanced viewing through the YouTube channel, which should make the viewer experience a whole lot better. So it is 15 minutes gone, 26-point margin. Hills Eagles need to go back to back. That's something they probably struggled since the first quarter, of course. They've had 8 more disposals in that half of football and still trail after a blistering 9-goal second term from the tricolours. It's out towards Maroney and Gemmell. Gemmell was shuffled out there, and it's a free kick. It should have been in the back there, but the umpire allows it to play on. It's out there towards Vandenberg. He's knocking up, getting touches as the Sharon out there. It's out towards Salter, out to Vandenberg, who followed up his good work, out towards Payne. And no, it was Lawless outside there in the 50, and it was punched away. It's out there, and it's just been seen over the line. I think it was Scott Reid, who looks like he has moved into defence now. It is Reid who rushed it over the line, the number 2 for the Hills Eagles. There'll be a boundary line throw-in right on the 50-metre arc here for the tricolours, and it's Gemmell who gets a double-hander. It's only as far as that of a Risley. Risley paddled it over the line, and it's going to be a free kick out towards Salter. Of course, you heard the President Muir talking highly of Nick Salter. The thing that I've liked about Nick Salter is defensive acts have been first class. So out towards Vandenberg, who gets yet another kick. What's he going to do with this one? He improved the angle, and he looks to play on. He goes around the body, and he looks for Payne in a worm burner. Wasn't good enough there, Aaron Vandenberg, and it goes out of bounds for a boundary line throw-in at the 15-minute mark of the third quarter. 5 goals the difference here. So a lot of work for the Hills Eagles to come back from here. But it's Gemmell. He gets first hands to the footy. It's only as far as Ryan Barrett, but I thought he was tackled high. Yes, he was. Free kick to the number 22 for the Eagles in Barrett. Barrett, he gets it out towards Vlatko. Vlatko out towards Reid. Reid now at half-back. He comes down, looking down there for... it was not good enough as Turner. And Hine chipped in over towards the 17 in Lucas O'Neill. O'Neill has found Costigan. A couple of their lesser lights are reaping the rewards for a improved pre-season. So Jed Costigan, which way is he going to go? He lobs it to the top of the square. It comes around looking for and it's rushed behind. So good defensive work there from the Hills Eagles in Risley, punching it through for a behind. A minor score to the tricolours as they push a little bit further ahead here on this round 1 clash, but it's quickly brought in there by out towards Vlatko, out towards Rice. Rice got a hurriedly kick towards Fleming, the goal scorer. Fleming out towards Walker. Walker was tackled. That could have been dropping the ball, but the umpire says play on. It's now out there towards, shuffled out there towards the first goal scorer of the game in McNeese, but only as far as Mathis. Very even team contribution as Tui chips the ball forward there towards Salter. He works well inside that forward 50. He's got a great set of hands on him as Nick Salter, the number 5 for the tricolours. Looks like he's going to be a great pickup for them. He goes further afield, and who's he found? He's spotted Utica, the number 4, Jordan Utica. Is he going to have a shot at goal? Of course, they're looking to replace a lot of their goal-kicking talent from 2013 with Bennett moving away, Horner and Utica. He sprays it across the face of goal, and it's punched through by Jamie Vlatko. So another rush behind for the tricolours. And just keeping the scoreboard ticking over here in this round 1 clash. Stubbs, poor kick there. That was a tight kick from Trent Stubbs. Allows Salter to pounce on it. Guess what? 4 points to Nick Salter. So there you go, Nick Salter. He gets another one. The tricolours, that was a real defensive lap. That was a concentration error there. So 111 the tricolours move towards. Blowing out here a little bit now. 113. Plays 80. The heat taking its toll out there on some of the players, looking a little bit tired, the Hills Eagles, and it allowed the former Port Adelaide player in Nick Salter to gain maximum points for the tricolours. The umpire brings it back to the middle of the ground. It's the big men in Hupt and Gemmell to go at it. He's acquitted himself quite well today as Reuben Hupt. Gemmell, first hands on the footy, out towards Rice. He's been clever in and under in the middle of the ground there. Jimmy Rice, the former Tuggeranong product, more recently of Narandra. Of course, a lot of the Tuggeranong players have been filtered out towards each of the clubs of their choice. And they still remain in the AFL Canberra first grade. It's out towards Harris, out towards that of O'Neill. Got a quick handball over to Walker. Walker over his mate and Harris. Out towards Shawnee Ellis. Multiple goal scorer today. Ellis with the left boot in there. Out towards Reed. Reed just drifting back, taking an easy mark above his head. Reed comes out towards that of Kruger. And the number 10, Eugene Kruger. Right on half back. You can see Salter's still barking instructions to his players. Out towards Hine, he's got his name written all over it. Flatco got a fist in there. Out towards Barry. Out towards Browning, who got another one of his hands to it. Out towards the classy Eckerman, who's died out of a little bit. Oh, he got his head ripped off there by Bowles in a crude tackle. So Andrew Eckerman will take a free kick right on 50. Really, he's got 3 goals to his name as Adam Eckerman. Like the look of his work. Right at home with Adam Eckerman. Doesn't come off the boot that well, and Malani dropped it, so it's gone out of bounds. Right near the behind post, we'll have a boundary line throw in. So Hills Eagles were really good in the first quarter around the stoppages. Let's see how they go here. 20-minute mark, quite a hot day. The sun's reappeared. Glorious day for football for this round 1 NEAFL clash. Should have been a free kick there to the Tricolours. It's Rice. He got a quick boot to it. It says out to Hupt. Hupt gets a quick boot, and it's out towards Gemmell. Gemmell took it. His knee went under him, so but he was quickly to recover. Big Luke Gemmell. He now goes across the ground with a poor kick, and it just into the arms of that of Costigan. Costigan now running the ball away. Jed Costigan through the middle of the ground. Who's he looking for? Lawless gets to the front of the contest, but he was taken out by strong defensive by Ryan Barrett. As they come across the ground now, it's out through Jackson Ferguson. Ferguson for the Hills Eagles. He looks further afield to Vlatko, the captain, of course, and he's 150th. He's right nearly on centre wing. He comes down the boundary line looking for his teammate in number 25, Will Bradley, but it beats him over the line. It'll be a boundary line thrown right in front of the Hills Eagles interchange gates. As we watch the 2 big men go at it, it's Mulrooney v Browning. Out towards Lawless, shuffled it out towards Vandenberg, but Dimmery, he was good enough over to McNeice. McNeice, the number 20, puts it down there towards Stubbs. He got a hand to it. It was just paddled away. It's out towards Malani with a quick kick, and the number 7, Josh Malani, and he gets rushed behind. So they add to their score by 1, the Hills Eagles. As they stay in touch, they really need to go back to back, the Hills Eagles. 113 plays 81. In this round 1 clash. Out towards Vandenberg, the 2 leading possession getters on the field combining there. Out towards, it is Ian Lawless. Out towards Ellis, he's got a player unattended, and it's going to go over there towards Lucas O'Neill. O'Neill treats him with contempt, the Hills defender. Out towards Salter, who just wheels around on the right boot, but I don't think it's going to be good enough, and it's only a minor behind. So Nick Salter, he looks dangerous going forward inside that forward 50. As they swing the changes, the Hills Eagles out there towards that of Kruger. Kruger goes long with a kick, looking down there towards that of Risley. Risley, no, out towards McConnell, back into Risley. Risley, now it's out to Eckerman. Eckerman with a poor kick off the boot. Only is Utica. Utica got a nice underground handball there out towards Bowles. He's been close to one of the best on the ground today. He had his head ripped off there, and he's a recipient of the free kick for a high tackle from the from Malani. So he's done a great job down in the defensive post today as Damien Bowles, as he just counts down the clock a little bit and will take a free kick as he gathers his breath. Damien Bowles, one of the leading possession getters out there today. Been a tower of strength in the back half, repelling a lot of the Hills Eagles attacks. Comes outside the 50. Who's he found out there? He's found young Barry, the number 21, minus the headgear this year. Out there towards Salter, who takes a one-hander. Nick Salter over towards Harris. He'll go onto the left side. Out to put Vandenberg under a bit of pressure, but he was good enough to get out of it. Out towards Walker. He got a good handball inside the forward 50 there to Costigan. Over there towards that of Mathis. Out to Ellis. Is he going to get his third snapping around his body? No, he's not. Just a minor score for Sean Ellis. He's hit the scoreboard a couple of times. He would have liked a major that time, Sean Ellis, but only got the minor score. So the heat's really gone out of the game. It's very humid here in Canberra today, but that's a poor kick out, and it allows Ian Lawless to take an uncontested mark. Ian Lawless lining up for his first. No, tricky one. Salter goes around the back of the pack and launches one outside 50, but it's not good enough on this occasion as it goes through for a minor score. So Nick Salter improves Ainslie's score by 1. Got a free kick here. Is it another shot on goal to Fleming? He's done a great job in a defensive role on Kruger. He's kicked a couple, Fleming. He's going for his third. He fancies himself as a goal kicker. Not a noted goal kicker from seasons gone by as Jason Fleming, the number 6. Normally a running half back. Lining up for his third. How's he strike it? Not too well. A bit of a helicopter mongrel punt. Maybe he might get sent back to the back line next week. It might be a one-off Coach Rourke, but nonetheless he's proved very effective. Minor score there for the Tricolours. As the Hills Eagles bring it down towards the interchange gates and goes up Highfield. He's gone down with a knee there. I think he hyperextended it on the way down. Or is it a bit of cramp? It's out towards Ian Lawless. It's a very hot day, as I said. At 21 high humidity, it's out towards Reed, who's now gone in the back half. He was very dangerous early forward. Stubbs, he's copped a lot of attention in close. Well, he's made a miraculous recovery. He has Lockie Highfield, and that left foot, as he dropped it down looking for the other left footer in Ash Harris. So Harris unloads one, not on target, and it's going to go down the breadbasket of Kieran Emery. Emery started in a blaze of glory, and the halfback copped a heavy head knock and probably hasn't been the same player since he came back on. Out towards Reed. That was a tide kick from the Hills Eagles. As I said, the heat getting into him, and that's another tide kick there from Vandenberg. And another one from Reed as a shank out there towards Bowles. Bowles has got to try and beat Stubbs. He does with a handball out towards Bonnie. What's Bonnie going to do with it? He's just handballed in hope. And it's out there towards Walker. The players are probably going siren. A couple of tired boys out there as it gets a big... It's Utica. Shows a bit of candy and shows a bit of composure. The number 4, Jordan Utica. Put that one down in your little black book. The number 4, Jordan Utica. That was a great goal. His first for the Tricolours and the 19th for them. So the Tricolours in control here in this round 1 clash. $19-9 plays 12-9, 7-goal margin. Here in this round 1 clash. Some tired boys out there. 25 minutes gone in this third quarter. Umpire bounces it down. Browning against Mulrooney. Mulrooney's been fantastic out there today. He's fed Lawless a lot of his ball out there towards his namesake. No relation, of course, out there towards that of Mick Lawless. So the number 7, Michael Lawless, as you heard, the president say he's been able to get a full pre-season under his belt. Had a lot of back-related hamstring issues. But Emery brings the ball to the ground, allowed his fellow defender to clear the ball out there towards Vlatko. But Bernasconi leads the race for the ball, and he's going to shoot safely over the boundary line. Cam Bernasconi, another one that the Tricolours would be hoping for, as had an injury-interrupted season last year, and hope to play He's a key weapon in their defensive structure, is Cam Bernasconi, as the umpire throws it in. Dead set centre wing, far side here at Alan Ray Oval, Ainslie. And the ball goes to the ground. All the players looking a little bit tired out there as Harris jumped over a couple in what was a steeplechase out towards Bonnie. Bonnie was tackled solidly, but it's going to beat them all, and the Hills Eagles run it over the line for yet another boundary line, about 2 metres from the last boundary line through. 28 minutes gone, 19-9, 123 to 12-9, 81. As the players set milling around the ball, there's a couple in each of the forward 50s. Browning, first hands on the footy, only as far as Rice. Rice got a quick kick away out there towards Costigan. He's been a vastly improved player, Jed Costigan, wearing the 13 for the Tricolours. He's been good today as Jed Costigan. We'll bring you some updated statistics at 3/4 time. Gone out again. Vandenberg, third man up. Punched out towards Bonnie. Bonnie, not sure what to do with it, has 3 attempts at it, finally gets it on his boot down towards Tui. Tui, only as far as Barry. Barry handballed it into the corridor, was a little bit dangerous out towards Eckerman. Eckerman out towards Ferguson. He unloads the 23. Is it going to bounce through? Jackson Ferguson gets his first for the afternoon, so well done to him. So the 23 unloaded from outside 50 and got the Hills Eagles 14th as they move to 87. Still, they've got a lot of work to do, the Hills Eagles, to get back into this contest, this round 1 clash. Don't look to have a lot of petrol tickets left in the tank, the Hills Eagles. So fitness looks to be a key factor here. The Tricolours blew them away in that second term with a 9-goal second quarter. 9 goals, highly entertaining clash. Of course, we've had 32 goals in 3 quarters of football. You can tell it's round 1, not a lot of defensive efforts. Must be the stroke of 3/4 time. Harris, Mulrooney's just... Stubbs got another solid one in the middle of the ground. Trent Stubbs. That was a solidly met bump. He didn't see that one coming, but it's taken out of the middle of the ground by the Hills Eagles, and it's another solid grab to Tui. And what's it gone? It should be a 50-metre penalty, yes, if it's a free kick, or should be a 50-metre penalty. He did play on, so Vlatko appealing for it. That's Jamie Vlatko. It's going to be Milani, the number 7. Last kick was a goal. The kick before that wasn't too flash. We'll see how he goes with this. See if he can get back on the even side of the ledger. Josh Milani, the former Southport product, on the stroke of 3/4 time. Can he keep him in touch? He gets under it with a helicopter. I think it's going to be good enough, is it? You betcha. So Josh Milani, he gets his second. And it didn't look real flash off the boot, but it had the desired result. So they keep in touch to the Hills Eagles. So it is a 123 playing 93. Can't be long left in this quarter. We wait for the umpire to bring it down, bounce down. 19-9, 123, 14-9, 93. The Tricolours in control here at Alan Ray Oval, Ainslie, as it's just about the sound down for 3/4 time. It's in towards Costigan, and he's had a big third term out towards Harris. Right there is the siren for 3/4 time. The Tricolours lead 19-9, 123. Hills Eagles with all the work to do, 14-9, 93. We'll be back live in just after the 3/4 time break, and we'll bring you all the action. Welcome back to the last quarter of this round one clash between the Ainslie Tricolours and the Sydney Hills Eagles. It is the Tricolours 19-10-124 to the Hills Eagles 14-9-93. Of course, the umpire's waiting for the Tricolours to get back out. They're in control of this match. The umpire can actually start the game. The second warning siren has gone as the large crowd disperses for the Tricolours as we wait for them and the umpires to bounce down for the start of the last quarter. A couple of statistics. Leading possession getter on the ground is Aaron Vandenberg. Surprise, surprise, the number 10, 25. Number 2, Nick Hine with 19. Crept up a little bit in that quarter was Ian Lawless with 17. Slater's got 15, and Ash Harris and Dale Walker and Bowles respectively with 14, and Fleming with 12. So a pretty good even spread around for the Tricolours to open season 2014 as the throng of supporters come off the ground as we wait for bounce down. Quarter 4, round 1, NEAFL 2014. Of course, we're going to be streaming our 3 live games this week. NT Thunder and, of course, Belconnen and Aspley Hornets from Brisbane. So tune in and you won't miss an ounce of action in 2014. As the siren sounds to bounce down for quarter 4 of this round 1 clash. It is Mulrooney to go up against the former Belconnen player in Browning for the Hills Eagles now, wearing a totally different strip, and it's out towards Vandenberg, out towards that of Dimmery, only as far as Barry. Barry quickly got it on the right boot, down towards that of Browning. He puts his jukes up and it sticks in the hand there, and he brings it across to that of Emery. Emery now goes further afield looking for Stubbs. He copped a lot of heavy attention in that third quarter, did Trent Stubbs. He brings it across there towards Lockie Highfield, who got, I think, was his first goal in NEAFL footy. He comes further afield to Bowles. He's been solid down there in the back half today as Damien Bowles out towards the speedy Ellis, who's nearly falconed him, but he was good enough to recover. He lost sight of it out towards Toohey, and now Ferguson, the last goal scorer. He kicked a nice goal there, Jackson Ferguson, out towards Vlatko. He crunched the defenders. Out there was a throw, I think. Has the umpire picked up a throw? Yes, he has. So you weren't good enough to get away with that one, but it'll be a free kick to the Ainslie Tricolours in the back half as Rob Toohey looks a little bit ginger in the back half there for the Tricolours, the number 15. It's a free kick going to Cam Bernasconi. It's been good. He's held Vlatko pretty accountable today. He comes out towards big Mulrooney. He got his hands punched away there by Browning. Browning runs into his teammate, a knee of Ferguson, and it's out towards Vandenberg, the leading possessor on the ground. It's Vandenberg. He goes in towards Jed Costigan, and he follows it up. He's Ruben Hupt over to the speedy Ellis. Ellis goes forward there towards Hine, and then running away from it out there towards that of Lawless. Lawless bumped off the tackle. Out towards Ruben Hupt, out back towards Lawless. Lawless lines up for his fourth. Mickey Lawless, oh, he's been a star since he's come inside that forward 50. Fantastic work, the benefit of a full pre-season. That was a great goal. He has been tremendous inside that forward 50. He kicks the Tricolours further ahead. .130 plays 93. I think it was his fourth for Mick Lawless. Yep, my word, it was 3 goals. He's only touched it total of 9 times, and he's got 4 goals. So what a fantastic effort. A real thorn in the side there. Gamble, first hands on the footy down towards Stubbs, and crouching over the footy out towards Ellis. It's going to be one-way traffic if the Hills Eagles don't switch on now. And it's out towards that of Emery. He's been good for them all day. Solid down back. Out towards McNeice, of course, the goal scorer. He's made a miraculous recovery as Jackson. Jackson tried to bullock his way through. And just coming over the top there was, I think it was 2. He made the punch out towards Utica, who kicked a nice goal in that third quarter. Out towards the run of Bernasconi. He's well held Vlatko today, Jamie Vlatko, who's got the potential to be one of the key forwards in the competition. Out there towards Hupt. Hupt sees it over the boundary line. Boundary line throw in 55 metres from the Tricolours goal as the Clouds besiege Alan Ray Oval Ainslie today. As I think it's Burke comes from the ground. Yes, it is Burke, Big Benny Burke. So he's been run ragged down there by Nick Payne, who started brightly. 4 goals to his name. Back to the action. It's taken over there by McNeice. And he's handballed it straight into the opposition player. And it'll be a boundary line throw in. 52 metres from the Tricolours' goal. 5 minutes gone into this last quarter here of this round 1 clash. And it's the big men go at it as Gamley gets a double-handed towards Stubbs. They've had plenty of opportunities, and this Ainslie just got on top in that third quarter. A total of 260 disposals against the Hills Eagles, 218. So the Eagles are not proficient that quarter after leading the possession count at half-time. So out there towards Fleming, and Emery puts the dukes up and it sticks. Emery, he goes further afield looking for Eckerman. He started brightly, but the candle's gone out a bit for Andrew Eckerman. Still looks a likely type, Eckerman. And it was a tide kick down towards the throat of Toohey. Toohey comes further afield to Highfield. He'll go onto the left boot. He tries to take on Reed, goes around the corner, stabs at it, only as far as Emery for the Hills Eagles. So he'd be disappointed with that, with a Lockie Highfield. And did some good work there out towards Ferguson for the Eagles. He drives the ball further ahead towards Stubbs. Stubbs stops on Vandenberg. He's about 65 from goal. Who's he looking for here? He's found Bonnie running into the middle of the ground. Damien Bonnie. Right. Dead set. Centre of goal. 45 out. Damien Bonnie. This will test him. Right on his limit. As they swing the changes, the Hills Eagles looking for a bit of spark and a bit of run. Damien Bonnie taking more than the allotted 30 seconds to have a shot at goal. Goes out to try and get a little bit more purchase on it. And I think he's pushed it wide, has he? Yes, he has. So a minor score for the Hills Eagles. Inches their score further ahead. 36 points the margin, 6 goals brought into play, and that's a good kick out towards Bernasconi, and that's out of bounds, so it was touched over the line. He didn't take it cleanly. Boundary line throw in. A couple of headbands starting to appear out there. The umpire's got one. I noticed Nick Hines got one. Emery, and they must be in vogue with the beards. So out towards Bonnie. Bonnie got a quick kick, handball out there towards McConnell, over to Reed. Reed chopped one in there towards Malani. He's looked good and looked dangerous. Hasn't just had enough of the footy. Has the former Southport product in Josh Malani as the Ainslie runner goes out now. And it is Malani. A couple of ordinary ones off the boot. Josh Malani. Ride this one home, looking for his second. He stabbed at that one, and I think he's pushed it wide. He has. So Malani doesn't add to his total of majors. But he adds to the minor score for the Hills Eagles. Takes them along to 95. 2010 130 to a 14-11-95. There's Ainslie now. Heat really gone out of the game. It's out towards Highfield. Highfield in front of the number 4 in Eckerman. He brings it further afield towards Bernasconi, and he's made an error there, but he was good enough to butter it up. Bowles, a little undergrounder out towards that of the run of Vandenberg. Vandenberg in the back half, just a little jink and shimmy out towards the second leading possession getter on the ground in Nick Hine. Wearing the headband is Nick Hine. Hine drives it long down the line, looking for Salter. Worked his way to the front position. And Salter was cleaned up by Reed, only as far as Salter. Salter stood strong in towards Mickey Lawless, the number 7. Go back and try and get your 5th. What a remarkable effort coming off the bench. He looks like he might be going for his 5th goal, has Michael Lawless. Of course, besieged by hamstring and back-related injuries last year. I believe he is going overseas. in about 8 or 9 weeks, so he'll be sorely missed. Of course, an insolvency practitioner by day, Michael Lawless, he rides this one home. 5 goals. Take a bow, Mickey Lawless. 5 goals, not a bad return. The number 7 for the Tricolours. They skip further ahead here at Allen Ray Oval. It is Ainslie. 21-10-136 to the Hills Eagles, 14-11-95. Hope you're enjoying all this action of round 1. The Hills Eagles, the bus, looks like it's run out a little bit of diesel here. It is one-way traffic now with the Tricolours in complete control. 41 points is the margin after a bright start by the Hills Eagles in quarter 1. Looked like they were going to really match it up. Of course, Luke Jericho didn't play. Their much lauded recruit, the number 5, is out injured. A couple of late changes for the Eagles, so hasn't been helped there. But they'll get better as the season goes through. Mark my words, they look like they've got a couple of likely types. Bounce down Browning against Hupt. It was won by Browning only towards Vandenberg. Out there towards Barry. He's had plenty of it too. Out to another bloke that's had plenty of it in Hine. So, of course, we see in 2014 the introduction of the MVP award. So it replaces all previous medals. And that was the Grogan and the Mulrooney in the respective competitions. The MVP will be awarded by each of the coaches on a 5-4-3-2-1 basis along with the umpires. And it'll be a prestigious award at the end of the year, but that's Reid with a crude attempt over Lawless, out towards Harris. He's found Salter. That was a clever kick by Ash Harris, has allowed Salter to come in. And Costigan, he got his boot to it. It is a goal. Make no mistake about that. Jed Costigan, he finished off some good work. He's been solid out there today, is Jed Costigan, showing the benefit of a really solid pre-season. Played a couple of games last year, so he kicks ahead. The Tricolours, 142, plays 95. He's been good for him, has Jed Costigan. Coming off the ground after kicking the goal. The Tricolours settling up with a lot of the same support staff. They do a great job week in, week out, as do the Hills Eagles. Support staff, a tough gig, and it's often unrewarded, so hats off to all the support staff that make it possible to play a game of footy week in, week out. But it's Reid floating back in the back of the pack there. The number 2 for the Hills Eagles, wearing the white boot. You can't miss him. He also tapes around the wrist out towards Stubbs, 11. The 11 for Hills Eagles in Trent Stubbs goes out there towards McNeese, but one hand was up by Vandenberg out there towards Vlatko and caught him a little bit high, did Ash Harrison. Was a quick one by Utica. Utica out to the goal kick at 5, if you don't mind, out towards Ellis. He's got a couple towards his name as they begin to toy with him now, the Tricolours. So it's going to be a tough side to break into for all the blokes coming through as we get set for AFL for Canberra first grade after this one. So there's another goal to Shawnee Ellis. So that's his 3rd for the afternoon, and the Tricolours 23rd. It is raining goals in a shootout here at Ainslie Oval. So a massive amount of goals for this round 1 clash. It'll be interesting to see how, going forward, what the scoreboards will be. 23, 37 goals scored in the game to date. That's phenomenal amount of goal kicking. It is raining goals here at Allen Ray Oval. That's a poor bounce by the umpire. He should have called that one back. It went straight down the throat of Stubbs. Stubbs puts it forward only as far as Tui. Tui by Barry. Barry will go onto the right foot. Has a run and bounce. Chris Barry gets it onto the left foot, looking for the run of Lawless. He's really got his tail up now. He's taking them on. He's toying with them. Is Mickey Lawless. He wheels around on that right boot, looking for Reuben Hupt. But they spoiled themselves, and it was Salter who stood steady, and he got a quick kick away for a boundary. It's out of bounds on the full, the goal umpire says. So it'll be a free kick to Emery. Emery brings it in towards that of Risley. As he goes further afield, as he looks up looking for Eastman. Eastman comes inboard looking for Ferguson. Ferguson right on the paint at 50. Comes in looking there for Risley again. Out towards that of Wharton. Out towards Bradley. Bradley drives it long looking for Eckerman. How good's he in the boundary line situation? Eckerman, and he puts it in towards Ben Burke, the fresh man on the ground after spending a little bit of time on the boundary line. He's going to pay dividends for his coach, Coach Sankey. Benny Burke moved from full back. Can he kick a goal at full forward? Yes, he can. So Ben Burke gets his first of the afternoon, and he gets the 14th for the Hills Eagles. There's 23-10, 148 to the Hills Eagles, 15-11, 101. So a 47-point margin here at the newly named Alan Ray Oval at Ainslie for this round one clash for NEAFL 2014. There's a loud cheer, Bronx cheer comes out of the ground. Good crowd on hand here to watch this opening game. Very similar to a crowd that was a couple of weeks ago watching the GWS and the ACT in our under-23 representative match. So out towards Gemmell, puts his hands on it. Gemmell, only as far as that of O'Neill. O'Neill is wrapped up in a solid tackle. 15 minutes gone. Still ringing the changes. Out towards Gemmell. Stubbs gets a quick kick away out there towards Jamie Vlatko. Solidly met. Oh, he's done an outstanding job on him today as Cam Bernasconi. Over towards Hine. Hine comes towards that of Barry. The two left footers combined. He'll come inboard there looking inside the forward 50, looking for Lawless. Lawless had it punched away into the corridor now. It's out towards that of Risley. Over towards Stubbs. Stubbs with a quick kick away out there towards McNeese. McNeese dropped what he should have taken from Utica. Got a nice hand in there. Nick Salter got a brilliant handball over the top of the head. Inboard comes Utica out towards O'Neill. O'Neill out towards and was intercepted there by Ferguson. Some really tired boys out there in this round one clash. Nick Salter looking for a rest. He's out on his feet. The plumber from Port Adelaide. Nick Salter, he's had a whale of a game out there for the Tricolours as Vlatko gets led from the ground. So a couple of the big key forwards coming off. It caught a bit of heavy attention today. And brother, Johnny replacing Jamie, out there towards Risley. Risley gets it away. It brings it only as far as, I think it's Barry out there, screws it around the boot, and it was punched through by Lucas O'Neill for a minor score. They bring it back in, the Eagles. The get-out kick. Bonnie over to Barrett. The two Bs combining Bonnie to Barrett, and they go back again. Bonnie, Barrett, Barrett, Bonnie. Bonnie takes a run and bounce to number 8. Bonnie over to Dimry. Dimry falls over. Gets on the left boot, back to Bonnie. Bonnie's run is tied, slipped. Got to get rid of it as Damien Bonnie. Bonnie out to Browning. The Bs all combining. Bonnie, Browning and Barrett. The three Bs. Worry about the three Ps. And here we go again. It's through Vandenberg. He's knocked up getting touches of the Sharon today. He'll have a Sharon handprint inside his... the word Sharon tattooed on inside of his hands today. He has got plenty of it, Aaron Vandenberg, picking up where he left off from last year. So it is over towards that of Ellis, out towards Lawless. He was punched in the back, but it's play on. It's out towards Risley. Risley down the line, intercepted by Vandenberg. Vandenberg, he comes inboard now. Tried to get a little bit of power on that and come off the side of the boot. Gemmell got under that one, mistimed it horribly. Out there towards Stubbs. Very tired, the Hills Eagles out towards Reed. The Tricolours in Salter. He got it inboard towards Ellis. Can he finish it off? The speedy Sean Ellis on the left foot. You betcha he can. 3 sausage rolls for little Shawnee Ellis as the Tricolours break the 150. I bet the Australian cricket team overnight would have liked to break the 150 after they were bundled out of the T20 World Cup after spruiking up. But they were a real chance to win it, so disappointing for the Aussie cricket fans. Of course, we had the Sheffield Shield final early in the week at our Manuka Oval. It was a great occasion for all the Canberrans, but back to the footy as Salter comes back. Ainslie 155 to the Hills Eagles 101. So 54 points the margin here. Sean Ellis with 3 goals. He's been fantastic in the middle of the ground there as little Sean Ellis, the number 19. Very impressive today have been the tricolours with not many pauper players out there. All very even contributions from the whole 22, out there towards Mulrooney, out to Lawless, out to Vandenberg. Still managed to get a kick on that somehow. Out towards Lawless. Geez, he's been working hard in and under. That's Ian Lawless out towards Ellis. Ellis out to Barry. Barry dropped what he should have taken. Walker's running past, screaming for a handball. Showed a bit of candy. Out there towards that of Tui. Tui can go for a rare goal. Rob Tui, the number 15, the new tricolours captain for season 2014. He's lining up on a slight angle 35 metres out. Not a noted goal kicker is Rob Tui, but we'll see how he goes. Lining up for his first of the afternoon as the dark clouds descend here in Canberra. Of course, we've got a AFL Canberra fixture after this one. Rob Tui lining up for his first of the afternoon at the 20-minute mark. Comes off the boot nicely, strikes it. The umpire doesn't move. Hands behind the back and puts the 2 fingers out for Rob Tui. So it's 161. Coach Rourke will be interviewing you after the game, as we will bring you all the interviews, all the big interviews on neafl.com.au through season 2014. You must be impressed with this start. 25 goals to the tricolours. The umpire brings it back to the middle of the ground. We wait for the bounce down. Gemmell to do battle with Moroney. The umpires pulled that one back. Put a lot of pressure on the umpires in the middle of the ground to bounce the ball. Hasn't favoured either side today. Coming off the ground is Salter with a tight leg. No, it's Tui is cramped up there. Rob Tui goes out, tests the players out to Johnny Blatko, the 150. Not a happy memory for the 150. They're going to get a bit of a belting out here at Ainslie Allen Ray Oval today. It'll be one that he might forget. Bernasconi been fantastic in the back half there for the tricolours, as have all the Ainslie defenders. They've been really the strength of their victory today, as it's just taken out. We've had a couple of long quarters, 30 minutes, and most of the quarters are gone for, so we'll see how long this one goes for. It's punched away there by Barrett, Ryan Barrett. It's taken away there by, I think it was Benny Wharton, and it was just rushed over the boundary line. A lot of the Hills Eagles players have faded out of the game. Eckerman had a bright start. Reed had a bright start. So Milani sort of faded in and out of the game, but they just haven't been able to go on with it. Stubbs has been consistent. There he goes again, knocking up, getting knocked into. So he's copped plenty of punishment. So, and there is the number 32 in Wharton. McConnell had a bright start, faded out of the game. So Barrett, I think it's Barrett out towards Flatcoat. Been well held today is John Flatcoat. He's 150th, the captain. No, that's Eckerman. Eckerman, only as far as Bernasconi. Bernasconi comes out the further side to Mathis. Mathis, the speedy Clint Mathis, the former Western Creek player, has a gallop. He's going to be caught. No, he has a bounce, got away with it. Does Clint Mathis, and he's going down there towards Lawless. He was managed to get a fist to it in behind. Reed was good enough to butter it up over towards Hine. Got a handball over towards Salter. No, it's Lucas O'Neill down there in the 17. He's jagged one. He's added himself to the scoreboard. He gets himself in the history books. Does Lucas O'Neill for this round one clash as Dimmery comes from the ground with Jackson Ferguson replacing him. The tricolours strike up their 26th. Comes back to the middle of the ground. Maybe there is time on the clock to strike 200. It's like a T20 shootout in the last final 5 minutes. I haven't seen a score like this for a long time. Only round one, early days Mulrooney, he's been clever in the middle, out towards Lawless, out towards Mathis. He can have a run and gallop here, show us your pace, Clint Mathis. That's his second bout, Mathis, over towards another speedster in Ellis. Shawnee Ellis, is he going for 4? You betcha. Nice afternoon for Sean Ellis, the diminutive number 19. He gets the tricolours 28th as they skip further ahead here. There is time to break it. Can they crack the 200, the tricolours? 173 to 101. So the floodgates have really opened in this last quarter. A 9-goal last quarter to date for the tricolours. 8-goal last quarter, sorry, correct me there, 8-goal last quarter. So to date, out towards Ferguson, out towards Highfield, stood his ground, Dimry tried to bump him off the ball, punched it away inboard out there towards that of Rice. He's been good, he was instrumental in them kicking those other 9 goals. Out towards Stubbs, he's going to cop more punishment. Ooh, just ducked under that helicopter from Vandenberg. Out towards Mathis. So the speedy Clint Mathis. Goes inboard towards that of Ackerman, but he was good enough, Rice. Just rolls on the ground. Some tired boys out there in this round one clash. A long season of NEAFL football. As I said, we're going to be streaming you 3 games live this week in NT Thunder and the Aspley and the Belconnen, so plenty of football action through the NEAFL channel, of course, bringing it through YouTube, which will be a much improved vision enhancement for the viewer. So it's out to John Flatco. Can he get the ball on the board for his 150th? John Vlatko. Kicks a goal in his 150th. Johnny Vlatko, well done. The captain of the Hills Eagles. He gets his first for the afternoon. And at least he gets something to cheer about. And what's been a dark day in his 150th. So the tricolours at the 25-minute mark. 27-11-173. 16-11-107. Big day for the tricolours. Wait for the umpire to bring it back. Can't be too long left in the quarter. A lot of goals scored though by the tricolours. 8 goals in this quarter as opposed to 2 goals from the Hills Eagles. Bounce down, another poor bounce. The umpire should he's going to play on. It's one thing that they've really struggled with today is the men in green is the bouncing of the ball in the middle of the ground. It's out towards Lawless over towards Costigan. He's been a good in for them. One of their youngsters out there towards McNeese out towards that of Rice. Looks like he's going to be a handy pickup if his body holds up. Rice, that was a tight kick taken by Milani. Tried to shuffle it out to the last goal scorer in Vlatko. Utica inboard towards Maroney. Got to get down Big Mitch there. Gives it out towards Utica. He stands composed. I love his composure. Is Utica out there towards O'Neill, but it's only as far as Wharton is it for the Hills Eagles. Out towards Bowles. He goes for a bit of a gallop now. Plenty of space out there towards Harris. Harris gets it in onto that left boot. Wheels around as Ash Harris out there towards Barry. Barry turned his body in the contest. It was well done. He beat the player there in Barrett. So the 2 Bs going at it. Barry versus Barrett. A real play on the words there. Can't be long left in the game. It is going to be the tricolours running out victors here in this round 1 clash. Hupped out towards Walker. Walker down the throat of Hine. He puts one juke up. It doesn't stick. Out now by the Hills Eagles. And they control it along the boundary line. It looks like it's going to roll out. No, it's not. It's only as far as Kruger. Hine chases. Puts a bit of defensive pressure out towards Dimmery. Followed it up, did Kruger, the number 10, only as far as Utica. Utica got a hand on it, out towards Mulrooney, punched out there towards Utica, stand composed. Mulrooney goes around the body out towards that of the number 32 in Wharton. Wharton goes inboard looking for Burke, out there towards Eckerman. Can he finish off his work? Andrew Eckerman, he's missed it, so a minor score for Adam Eckerman. And the Hills Eagles just creep it. A little bit more respectability, but they'd be disappointed with the size of the margin in the end. Really run out of steam after half-time. It's out towards O'Neill. He dropped the ball on the ground. Out towards Dimmery, still fighting hard for the Eagles. Browning, Stubbs, out of bounds on the full. That'll be a free kick to the Tricolours. Right at the 30-minute mark, it is the Tricolours in a canter here at Allen Ray Oval, Ainslie. 27-11-173, 16-12-108. Hope you've enjoyed all the action brought to you live through NEAFL.com.au. Of course, tune in for a couple of the footy shows throughout the year. It is Highfield in towards Barry. Barry with a decision to make on the left foot. Vandenberg. Walker. Plenty of run from Walker. Out towards Hupt. He's got to get in and pick this one up as Ruben Hupt. Out towards that of Walker. Over to Risley. Intercepts for the Hills Eagles. Out there towards that of it is Wharton. Wharton. He goes down towards the 25 for the in Will Bradley. So Will Bradley right on the siren in front of Utica gets an opportunity to finish off for the Hills Eagles. So a big victory here to the Ainslie Tricolours. 27-11-173 to, will it be 109? Will it be 108 or will it be a 114? It is a goal there, so a nice finish there to the Hills Eagles. They start on a positive next week. So it is the Tricolours running out victors, 27-11-173 to 17-12-114. Hope you enjoyed all the action here through NEAFL.com.au. I'm Brett Davis. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time when we come back live from Canberra in NEAFL TV.